Funny, I did this whole video and then I found out that this agreement that I'm about to talk about is no longer. So for a long time, something in California was going on that I had no idea. I remember hearing about it, but I didn't know anything. In 1994, the wonderful company, a lot of privatized businesses that own a lot of agriculture in California sat down and made an agreement. It was the Monterey Plus agreement. Basically, they owned so much farmland in California that they got the rights to the water in California. Now, of course, this was, with help from politicians in DC. So if you didn't know, when the electrical grid goes out, essential services get rights over the power, like the hospital, police station. If you live by there, you're lucky because you come first rather than Joe Schmo out in the middle of nowhere. Well, instead of the cities getting rights over the water when a drought happens, these private businesses, got the rights to all the water. That was the Monterey Plus agreement. So when a drought would happen, those privatized businesses would take the water that taxpayers helped build and pay for, they would sell that back to the taxpayers for more money. How this was a thing for 20 years blows my mind. This is the type of shit you never hear about. They tried renewing their agreement in 2022 and it was denied by the Supreme Court. It also loosened regulations on paper water. Basically, water that is promised on paper, but they don't actually have. This is exactly what was happening with Enron, and how nobody's in prison for this is just beyond me. If you don't know anything about Enron made billions off the power grid. What they would do is they would make a blackout. They would make a blackout and then they would call that city and say, I can get you power right this second, but it's going to cost you double. And then they would pocket that money all over the U.S. for years, and they made billions and billions of dollars. One of them even off themselves because he knew he was going to prison for the rest of his life. That's what goes on in DC, and that's how they distract you with other things and do this stuff in the background. If you're wondering what company is mostly made their money off of this stuff, the wonderful company, the Resnicks, made billions of dollars off of doing this for years.